do you guys want to talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion?
Kenya ain't watch it yet, though.
I didn't watch it, but you guys can talk about it then.
Tom, you want to start it out or no?
Now, I think what Will Smith did is what Jeezy should have did. He should have owned up to it instead of saying, I'm a grown man now, let's move on. He should have said, if I put yourself in my shoes, I could understand. He should have said something like that. And Will Smith was very understanding of what he was as a young man compared to being a grown man. You know?
Okay.
All right,
Mhm.
so let's kind of like rewind this. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion up here was on HBO Max. What was it? Thursday?
Yes.
I think that was Thursday.
Yes.
But okay, all that nostalgia, everything was cool going down memory lane. But the meat and potatoes of what we wanted to talk about was Will Smith reconciling with Starsky and Viv. That's what we really came down to. That's
Janet
what we're talking
Hubert
about.
is her name?
Yes.
Hubert? Yeah.
Janet Hubert, yeah.
Yeah.
Not only did they play part of the conversation that they had together on the reunion, but then they went and did a more in-depth look at the conversation on Red Table Talk with Will Smith and his therapist. So that was pretty cool. When Janet Hubert went over her story and what she went through, it like reminded me so much of what Monique went through. And I was just like, Black women continue to get done dirty and don't nobody care.
Yeah.
Now, what I can say on Will Smith's part, based on what he said, it seems like going forward he's gonna try to make it right with her because it seemed like it
I think so.
definitely.
He gonna put her in one of his dumb Netflix movies or something.
Good.
But for somebody to like mess up your bag for 30 years, because I think he said he hadn't spoken to her in like 27, 28 years.
27
Mhm.
years, yeah. 27
That's
years.
crazy.
Ain't it? And mind you, it's not the craziest part is like she's trained from Juilliard. Like you sing, you dance, you act, you put all this work in, and to have that taken away from some rapper who came on the scene
He
like
was a
not
kid
that
with
long
power.
Y'all,
ago,
I heard my basement is not flooding.
it's
Hold on.
like crazy, right?
He's a little kid with power.
He was a little kid with power, and to Will Smith's point, or not trying to come down on him super duper hard at 21, and because he's a rapper and not an actor, I don't feel like he knew. Matter of fact, I know he didn't know the impact that he would have on her career and saying the things that he said about her. He had no idea. Now, people who are trained in acting and who act for a living, they know how if you, especially a Black woman, a dark skinned Black woman, you say she's difficult to work with, like Janet Hubert said, that's the kiss of death for her career. But I feel like coming from the background that Will came from, there was no way he could have known that. So he didn't know what he was doing to her at the time. That doesn't make the impact less, but and that doesn't mean that I want to give him a pass either. That just makes me understand how everything transpired. Also, the people on the set at the time didn't know that. Okay, she was butting heads with Will, but she also had X, Y, and Z going on in her personal life, which kind of like made her shut down from everybody and not really interact.
But they wasn't even butting heads, though. That's the problem. It's like she just wasn't.
She wasn't entertaining him like he wanted to be entertained.
Yeah, like
he wanted to be the jokester and make everybody laugh, and she's just like,
I'm trying to get mad. This be a getaway from the nonsense at home, and then I come around you, and you're probably like a little gnat. Like you know how he's probably super annoying on the set to somebody who's trying to just be serious, and you know what I mean.
right.
And he probably didn't like it because you're not laughing at my jokes. Oh, you're a bitch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably how
And
it's.
that's kind of like what he said on Red Table Talk, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
So it was like
you
a
know,
miscommunication on both sides. They both should have, even him being that young, he should have sat down with her and like, look, you don't like what's going on? You don't like me? What? Like,
but the only thing I would say to that is him being 21. I don't think he had
the
the
wherewithal.
wherewithal to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas now at what is he like 50?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, dang, I really didn't understand how much I messed up that lady's life. Like,
Yeah.
and so now he based on how he wants to impact the world and impact people's lives, like you got this one person who hates you because of the domino effect that how you talked about her caused her career to go like down the drain.
Can I say something though?
Sure.
She should have been on that Red Table Talk.
I think so. I think so too. I think so too.
It
That
would
would
have
have
been
been that would
much
have been
better.
awesome for her to physically be on there.
Mm-hmm. But other than that,
And do you know that I still see like online, even when they posted like articles, and then you get the on Facebook, you see the comments. I can still see people. Well, she wasn't fired. She quit because she didn't want to accept the terms of the agreement that they put out. And this, a lot of this commentary is coming from black people, especially black women. And I'm looking like, really, like, do y'all understand like what position she was put in? Like, is it always, are we always supposed to accept scraps from the table? Are we
she said Will
always
fired her
supposed
though.
to lay down and let people piss on us? Because
She said Will fired her.
no, he didn't. No, that's not what happened.
She's like, she said that the only person that said I was fired was you.
Oh, well, he probably said that in interviews, but she did explain what exactly happened.
They tried to give her that dumb settlement.
Well, what she said was that they had heavily reduced her contract to where she would only appear in 10 episodes, but also in the verbiage of the episode it said she absolutely could not work anywhere else. And
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
she's like, my husband's not working, I got a 3-month-old baby, like how am I supposed to live? Like, and I feel like it reminds me so much of the situation that happened with Monique. Because with Netflix, she wasn't allowed to use that material. They would have had a lock on her for like what, 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they was trying to pay her like, because from my understanding, what she was saying is that she made about $1 million a year
Toward, yeah.
um touring. So if she can't, she's she's doing brand new material for Netflix. She cannot use this material for 2 years and after. So basically, you want to pay me less. What did they offer Monique? 500,000.
I can't remember what they offered her.
It was something that was like way less than what she would have made in that 2 year period. And for people to be, I feel like they're. When I looked at the commentary on Facebook about Janet Hubert, it reminded me the same thing about what people were saying about Monique. Like, are you really, you want us to lay down and let people piss on us? Because that ain't right. The position that
Mm-hmm.
these people is putting you in, that ain't right. But you're supposed to accept it because that's the only thing that you're being offered.
But just like how you were saying, as far as with Gucci and Jeezy, there's a way that you respond to things, and the way Monique responded to things wasn't the same way that Janet Hubert responded to things. She's very disrespectful the way she responds to things.
Now, after the fact, but in the midst of their negotiations, she's thinking it's still on the table and she's going to get a counter offer. They never counter offered. So during the midst of the negotiations, she wasn't.
I'm
This
not.
is all her disrespect is coming after the fact, which is I mean, I can't, as somebody who understands completely and fully where she's coming from, I really can't blame her. And then you got people like, I mean, do I feel like how she came at Oprah, Tyler Perry, and
Lee
um,
Daniels.
Lee Daniels? I feel like some of the stuff she said was kind of harsh. I probably wouldn't use that verbiage, but I don't think she's wrong for her expecting them to speak up for her either. And to this day, they absolutely refuse to do it. But again, I guess that's because of how she's acting. So you know, I don't know. I don't know. Janet Hubert situation reminded me of Monique so much. That's all I can say. Just messed up.
And I just want to say for the record, I did not watch the reunion yet. I am going to watch it, but I like the old Viv better, on
I
Viv
did.
better.
Definitely did. It was like both Vivs were complete opposite. Like
Hmm.
the old Aunt Viv, she was she a college professor or a high school? She was a high school teacher or a college professor or something like
I want to
that.
say she was a college
Hmm.
professor, right?
I think so, but you seen her, you know, she was a mom, but she also had things going on outside the home to where it was like she represented this person.
Hmm.
Like you're not only a good caregiver, but you also are somebody who has a good strong career going on. Versus
Hmm.
the new Aunt Viv could have was like polar opposite of the old one.
Hmm.
You only seen the new Aunt Viv in a situation where she was like a stay-at-home mom, and then of
Hmm.
course her aesthetic was the complete opposite.
I
Yes.
like
So,
both of them though.
hmm?
I like both of them though. The one though, like the old Aunt Viv. What I was saying is, I think if she would have stayed the whole 6 years, she would have been an iconic mother figure, like black mom figure. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think she had that much impact on the show.
I
Hmm.
honestly feel like she still is.
That might have been an issue with Will too, as far as um, she was real strong.
The only reason why I feel like she still is because most people who you talk to who were fans of the show liked the original Aunt Viv better.
Hmm. But the writing might have got different.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Season three on, it might have been like we can't be giving this much power to somebody and they not being um, a main character.
Also, I think watching the interview, with what was interesting is that Janet Hubert and the new Aunt Viv, I don't remember what her name is. Ain't
Debbie
that crazy?
something.
I don't know. They had never met. They had just met for the first time. They had never met, never spoken or anything, and it was like really nice to see them and them taking pictures. The both Vivs taking pictures with Will and stuff, and it was nice.
It was nice. It was nice when they was talking about Uncle Phil too.
What was his name? James Avery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that,
How about Nikki looking the same except for just like he got a mustache?
well, he got a weird face now. He,
That was
he
cute on the
look
kid, but
like an old. He looked like one of those filters where the old person and the baby switch faces.
he did. He did. When he came out, I was like, why does his face don't look the same on a grown person's like head?
My girl was so hyped they brought him out. I guess she thought he was gonna be looking like Trey Songz. She was so disappointed.
Mhm. Yeah, no. He was definitely looking like Nikki in a
She was like, he looks strange.
he looked the same. His face is the same except for he got a mustache. But
It's
anyway,
good. It's good seeing all of them on there now. But I wish James Avery would have been alive because I think that reunion would have been more. It was like kind of dry.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, yeah, did I watch the whole thing? It was cool, it was cute, and watch people reminisce. But the meat and potatoes was
The red
Will
table
and
talk.
Hubert.
Yeah, you could honestly you could skip the reunion and just watch the Will's Red Table Talk because it's more the Janet Hubert conversation unedited.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they wanted to make it that somber on the reunion, so
Hmm.
they kept it to like only the good parts. But the Red Table Talk was kind of better than the reunion to me.
It was, and I'm glad to see Janet Hubert's name in a better light now. Like,
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about Will. He was actually accepting his part. He played in the whole
hmm
screw up instead of saying, "Well, you were difficult to work with."
yeah, for him to, and then he did the red table takeover, but he has therapists there. That lets you know that like that whole situation really affected him. Yeah.
Well, you can
Mm-hmm.
see the way he started crying when she started talking about the situation when they were sitting down in the audience.
hmm Yeah, and that's I think that's the main reason why I can't like not love Will Smith because it was almost like I can't when you look at him it's like I cannot believe what I did impacted her like that. Like I can't believe I did that to her.
But
Like
shout out to Janet Huber again because I'm glad she's not passive aggressive. She's like outspoken.
hmm
So if that would have happened to anybody who was more passive, that this situation might not have never happened. Because
right.
when they
She
sat
was like,
down,
yes, I'm talking to you, Will Smith. This is what you did.
mm,
He said like
sometimes you
that
gotta put it.
live whatever she did on whatever platform. He was like, I ain't never even seen that before, but she laid into him.
Yeah, sometimes you can't have no gray areas. You got to make it clean, black and white.
hmm
When you beat around the bush, people be like, oh, whew, she ain't talking to me.
Yeah.
It's not knowledge, knowledge on that beat.